welcome to the exciting world of numismatics. Today, I'll be guiding you through some tasty morsels of history, displaying some of the more compelling items in my custodianship. So sit back, relax, and enjoy it. In 1966, Australia switched from the pound to decimal currency. Our first banknotes were made from paper. The design did not vary throughout their existence, and as such, similar notes to these were printed from 1966 until 1993. The notes feature a portrait of Francis Howard Greenway on the front, along with a collage of his architectural works. The words Commonwealth of Australia appear on earlier notes, 1966 to 1974. Then it was shortened to Australia from 1974 to 1993. The back shows a profile portrait of author and poet Henry Lawson. On the background, a collage of photographs from his time, manuscripts of his works, and personal letters. The first notes released in 1966 had nothing in the way of security measures, which inspired two aspirational criminal masterminds, Francis Papworth, an artist from Bentley, and Geoffrey Mutton, who owned a failing milk bar in Moorabbin. Between January 1966 and 1967, Francis and Geoffrey were able to print the equivalent in today's terms of over $10 million worth of currency, having no experience and only some basic office equipment. And in steps the RBA and CSIRO. Released on Australia Day 1988, the bicentennial $10 note is the culmination of a 22-year joint venture between the CSIRO and Reserve Bank of Australia. This is a response to the forgeries committed by Francis Papworth and Geoffrey Mutton in 1966. This fantastic creature has the proud title of being the world's first polymer banknote, and due to its legacy, Australia still today prints currency for other nations. In the 05-06 financial year, Note Printing Australia produced substrate for a range of denominations in Australia, Malaysia, Mexico, Nepal, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Romania, Singapore, Vietnam, and Zambia. But I digress. Despite 22 years of research and development and over $20 million spent, only some 500,000 notes were released on January 26, 1988. Due partly to industrial action at Note Printing Australia, as well as the fact that the notes were faulty. It became apparent shortly after release that the hologram, otherwise known as the Optical Variable Device, or OVD for short, could easily be scratched off. The issue was halted and all notes that returned to the bank were destroyed. These notes are known as the first release. They are identifiable as having serials beginning with AB 10 to 33 and having either 93, 94, 96 as their third and fourth digits. This nuance is often overlooked by amateur collectors and underappreciated by others. As an avid collector of this variety, I can assure you they are of the harder to find variety. The original style of font used for the serial numbers of Australian banknotes was known as Gothic, and was used up until 1976, where it was replaced with the more machine-reading friendly OCRB, or Optical Character Recognition Class B font. Production of the $10 polymer banknote was so challenging for Note Printing Australia that leading into 1988, NPA staff were forced to dust off and use a few of the older serial number machines that had been retired in 1976 in order to keep the supply of Australia's paper currency notes topped up. Relatively small print runs of the $5, $20, and $50 notes during this period feature the Gothic style of serial numbers. They are highly prized by collectors for their scarcity. Here we have an example of the Gothic serial $20 note. The serial signatures of Bob Johnson, Governor and Chairman of the RBA from 1982 to 1989, and Bernie Fraser, Secretary to the Treasury 1984 to 1989. This combined with the Gothic type serial date this note as being printed in 1985. Sadly, that's all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this short presentation and brief history on a very specific type of Australian numismatics. Thank you and goodbye.